Welcome back, everyone, to the Complete Pineleaf. I am here in the northern parts of the Gravenwood, near the entrance to Talmouth Address over there, where I need to speak with Huila here.
What have we to say to each other, Devodiad?
It is well that you have come, Devoniad. It is known among my people that the old woman of the mountain is called such because she dwells upon the heights of the mountain you call Mithadras. But we have never known the way of her abode. She always came down among us. I have discovered a path leading from the road to Talmithadras up the mountain. There's an evil air about the path, so I will not go there. But I believe this may well be the path your friend Saradin seeks. Return to Saradin and thank him for the kindness he has shown the people of the boar, and tell him of the path. Tell him also that none have traveled it recently. All right, I'll go back to Saradin then. She has found the path?
Greetings.
Whoever found the path then, but none have travelled there recently. I wonder then what has become of Gwillian since her defeat at the Slade of Shadows. I think she must do one of two things: seek refuge with Saruman, or find her way back to her own abode to recoup her strength. I think I think if she appears in Orthanc in defeat, she will not find herself welcome there. Though Gwillian is not dead and will likely return again, I believe your duties here are ended, Pineleaf. Halbred and the Grey Company will have need of you in the south. Speak with Lefort before you go, but I doubt not that the Horse Lords will also retreat from this place soon. Amlin and I will remain here. If Gwillian returns, she must be dwelt with, for she is a powerful adversary who might bring trouble to our chieftain from afar. Fare thee well, Pineleaf. Now, of course, it's sort of moon in there because I have run Storm Methodist already, since I did that in an earlier episode, so Gwillian has actually been defeated, but that's another matter.
Greetings, friend of the Rohirrim.
Saradin is correct, Pineleaf. Our mission here has both a success and a failure. We can no longer tarry here, for both the Ox and the Dragon clans are aware of our presence. We will come along as we can, but in the meantime, journey south to Forthbrand in the Isendale and report to Arduin. Let him know that the Dunlendings are coming and in greater force than we could imagine. So that concludes all of the quests in Dunland. But of course, we still have to take care of the epic, where we return to Tal Mithadras. Hello, Lord Brennan. I'm back with my report.
It is good to see you again, friend from afar.
You have been long away. What is the situation in the other clans? How many have thrown their lot in with Saruman? Lou Brennan listens with interest to your news of the other regions of Dunland, of the herds of Starkmoor, the distant folk of the Dunbog, the iron mines of Carriglin, and the armies marshalling, and of the frightened townfolk. Saruman's group on our land and its people is tighter than I thought. Still, we have closer matters to attend to now. See, Scroll of Greater Empowerment. That's a level 75 empowerment scroll. That may come in handy when I get a level 75 LI.
The captive is taken ill. He won't last much longer.
I thought that the captive might tell us more about Saruman's plans if he was hungrier. I told tonight to stop feeding him, and now he's taken ill and will not last much longer. Come with me to speak with him before he dies. There will be no more chance to learn what the wizard is up to in his walls before it comes to open war. We will give him a meal If he cooperates, that may be encouragement he needs. Well, I suppose we could try that.
The emissary of Isengard captured by the Falcon clan is near to death. Lou Brennian hopes to get information from the captive before he passes.
We will make the captive sing for us, Pineleaf. He will sing of Saruman's plans, or I will end his captivity with steel. This way, let us hear the captive's last song. Llewellyn, where is Nye? He moved the captive to a more unpleasant cell as you commanded. Ah, very good. Perhaps that will bear fruit. Lead us to him. The cells further in are damper and less pleasant, filled with refuse and home to rats. The captive will have much to say of Saruman's plans for the Falcon clan. I'm certain of it. Follow me. You know. Oh, hello, Pineleaf. Calenglad and some of the other rangers are below, bringing up some of the supplies the Falcon clan stored in the depths. The caves go quite some way into the mountain. Halbrad sent me to bring you down to help, but if you're busy with something else... You were going to speak with the captive? May I come along? That's a good idea. Perhaps the captive will put off his guard by your presence. I will go below to see to your friends how they fare with their preparations. Show him the way. Now, this is the dungeon that's deeper and damper. It's closer! Look at this! Right? We just got started here. Really? This is the deeper and damper one? Really? See how weak our captive is. He will not live through another night if he does not have a meal and an escape from the damp. You, Ranger, open the door. He'll not wait forever. This man is already dead. And so are you! Treachery! You're fools if you think to match the Dunedain. Well, that's a bit of a problem. This is bad, Pineleaf. Very bad. The Falcon clan has turned on us. I do not know why, but we are betrayed. And many of our friends are still below. We must cut our way out. Listen! There's fighting below! Uh-oh. Yeah, betrayed indeed. Well, we'll just have to take care of the Hedbogluth, who are now enemies after we helped them so much. Ah, I see how it is. Look at this. And an army of Dunlop. Okay, maybe it's a platoon. Well, yeah, a small platoon. I'm sorry that it turned out like this, Pineleaf. I mean that. These rangers are good folk, strong folk, and I see in them an echo of my own people. But you told me yourself of the great army Saruman had already amassed. He is prepared to give us back the lands that belong to us. It is so close now. I am no wizard's servant. Saruman prizes knowledge above all else, and now the Falcon clan can give him that. He's rationalizing. I think he will be pleased to receive the 2 gifts you are. He will be most interested in whatever errand could bring you this far south. And once the fighting is done, and our lands returned to us, he will remember. He will remember it was the Falcon Clan that gave him the gift of knowledge. You will not leave this cave alive, Renine. Take them!
Saruman, I send you this gift. Knowledge of your enemies. Use it wisely and remember from where it came.
You have been captured and brought to Isengard, home of the traitor Saruman. Oh, goody. Looks like we got a couple of Falcon Captor, and Ewan of the Falcon Clan. Let us go. I do not want to stay here any longer than I need to. I will leave you captives with someone and be back to the wagon headed for Tor Morva before the next bell. Well, he doesn't like this place much either. Move your feet, Ranger! I cannot go on like this, Pineleaf. What can we? Lothandir's pains are evident. Both of you were cruelly treated by the long wagon journey to Isengard and the whips of your captors, but Lothandir bore the brunt of the ill treatment. I am Lothrandir of the Dunedain. I have walked among the frozen wastes and the fiery southlands. I do not fear this place. He's sweating. Move. All right. Wonderful. Goblins and orcs. These are the captives? Scrawny things! We will keep you busy, little hobbit, and your friend too. I think the old man will want to speak with him directly. There's a place for you in the caves below, if Fosh doesn't kill you first. If you have any fortune at all, you won't see me again, little hobbit. You're ours now. Let's see how long you last. Wonderful, Morflack. Wonderful. This will not go down as one of the top pleasant locations to be at, with all these Uruks there doing some mining. And here is Fosh. Now here's a real pleasant fellow.
You now belong to me, and will do as I say.
Make yourself at home, little hobbit. You now belong to me. We will find tasks enough to keep you busy, and once you die, someone else will take your place. Sharku doesn't lack for thralls, little hobbit, and there is plenty of work to be done in the pits. Oh, wonderfully fun.
I've assigned someone to keep an eye on you and give you work.
Yes, and if this someone is not happy with your work, I will hear about it. You don't want that, little hobbit. If your overseer wanders off for a spot of grub or a swig of brew, rattle your shackles and he'd better come running back. Don't let me see without him. Alright, yeah. And here is my overseer here. Yeah, let's see. What do we got here? We got, that. Here are my shackles. Here is my port to the Isengard depths, because if I port out of here for some reason or anything like that, it obviously means that I didn't really get away. I just wake up from a good dream and wind up back here, unfortunately. So what's the first task?
There's work that needs doing in the kitchens.
You think this army feeds itself? No, there's meat roasting, gruel boiling, and bread baking day and night. Not that you'll get any of that, of course. Prisoners have their own ration. Oh, Brack'll have something else for you to do, I'll wager. To the kitchens with you. They're in the southwest wall of the cavern. And if you don't make good time, I'll tan your hide. Oh, isn't he a real pleasant fellow? Real pleasant. Let's head off. Which way? Oh, I guess we'll have to go out this way. And this is where we'll take a left turn. And this should lead us reasonably quickly to the kitchen, where we are going to get the slop. Oh, isn't that sounds like a real nice, a real nice dinner to have. Up this way. And you see the overseer with that little ring on his head trying to follow me. Puff, 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 puff. Hey, if they wanted to keep me prisoner for long, they would need a better overseer, I think. Look at this. He's just trying to keep up with me. He has to move his legs quickly just to keep up. And these are the superior Uruk-hai or something? Whatever. Well, if there are any questions about Saruman being related to the White Hand, this is certainly overcame any doubts about that whatsoever. Hello.
I'm of a mind to chop you up for stew.
Another worm froze to the surface. I'm of a mind to chop you up for stew. Give the boys something they can sink their fangs into. The Uruk-hai overseer grunts sadly, shaking his head with disappointment. Oh, it's like that, is it? Too bad. It's not worth my head across the old man, and once he's done with you, you won't be fit for stew anyway. Take this rag and clean up some of the slop off the floors. You might as well be good for something. Once you're done, squeeze that rag out into the slop buckets there. Now, I have to say that this is really disgusting stuff. There's all this stuff that's been thrown on the floor by the Uruks. They get the food and we get the leftovers. The leftovers that were thrown on the floor, really. Definitely not a fit meal for a hobbit.
You think you're done? You're not done until I say you're done.
Clean up more of the slop, then dump it into the slop bucket again. You work for Bach, and Bach says there's more to be done. Right. See, I even made his name rougher than it is spelt. How about that? Well, okay. Bach. His bark is worse than his bite. Actually, I suspect his bite is just as bad now that I think of it. Never mind. Was it? Yeah, bark. Really? If you don't want to be made fun of, don't have a name like Bark. Bark like a dog, yeah.
You could not have done that more slowly if you tried, worm.
Yeah, still the slop had to be cleaned and you cleaned it. There will be more later. There's always more. It's time to feed the prisoners. Scoop out some feed from the slop bucket and carry it to the dungeons in the northwest wall of the main cavern. Empty the slop into the bucket in the cells. And be quick about it. The thralls have to eat. Ha ha ha. I'm not too sure. Could you imagine what is... Yeah, you can see here, carrying slop and you run quick, 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 quick. This way, right? Is how hungry you have to be before you'll actually resort to eating this stuff. I could just imagine. He goes, ugh. Unfortunately, my overseer is falling back a little bit there. Make sure I go in the proper direction here. Oh, yeah. Now I go straight here. Yes! Slot for the dungeons? Okay, he sees me carrying a buck and he assumes it's slot for the dungeons. Apparently he knows enough Westron to give directions to prisoners. I suppose that makes a little bit of sense. Alright, into here. And you thought a warden is normally fast, huh? And you turn on the afterburners. Stick to the right-hand wall. I'm sure that if I don't, he will be most upset. Run, run, run. Look at this. And the time's up bar hasn't even started yet. Yuck.
Do you know anything about what is going on outside?
Hey, Hobbit, do you know what's going on outside? I'm a man of Rohan, Baldgar by name, and I was separated from my men not far from the river. Can you tell me if Rohan is still safe? Probably depend on how you define safe. But there are too many guards around, and it's not safe to talk. Oh yeah, probably because we got an overseer in the area. Right? Oh. Well, my overseer sort of fell behind a little bit.
No talking to the prisoners.
You're no less than a captive than the other prisoners, and if you weren't in my company, you'd be thrown in a cell to rot. Remember that. One word to Fosh, and you won't even have the benefit of stretching your legs. A different word, and you might call those locked in the cells the lucky ones. Ooh, he's a nasty brute. Of course, he is an overseer. What does the overseer have for me to do next? And will I ever get out of this place? Perhaps we'll at least answer some of it in the next episode of The Complete Pineleaf.